So the first thing we're going to do is just go into preferences up in the top right hand corner of the screen. And you just click on your icon and then click on preferences. And then I'd like you to go down to the drawing tab on the left. And I want you to have all of these settings selected. So ISO, millimeters, A3 landscape, and then tick um, change default details below, and then it allows you to change all these other things. So I want you to put it in third angle, small text height, medium text height, large text height, all that sort of thing. So just copy those, pause the video and copy them, pop them in. And then what I want you to do is go onto Google Classrooms and find our technical drawing requirements page. So once you've found that, click on it and go into it. And then you will find a template to download. So this is our template for our technical drawings. So find that, click on it within the document, and then click download, and it'll appear up in your downloads folder on your computer. So then I want you to go back to Fusion and then open your little data panel on the side and click upload. On there, I want you to select the template from your computer and upload it onto Fusion. So you just pop it in the right folder, so pop it in 11 DVC or wherever you've got your drink bottle folder, and then you're all ready to go. So we're going to go new drawing from design, and we want manual ticked, full assembly, and then you need to go into template, and that's where you select your own from your folder that you just saved it to, and then make sure it's selected over on the right. Everything else will be fine, and then you can just click OK. So once you've done that, the drawing template will load and it'll be all ready to start your drawing. So we're just going to start with page 1 in this video, and then there'll be a different video for each page. So you're just going to start by going place base view. So once we've clicked place base view, what we're going to do is we're going to choose the style and the scale we want. So I'm just going to pop the scale as 1 to 2. And then I'm going to change the style to visible edges because that's what we sort of use in tech drawings. And in tangent edges, I'm just going to click the middle one. So middle, right or left, up to you to sort of decide. Have a play around with that and then hit OK. And that'll place our first view. The next one we want to do is create project view. So you just click on that in the top left. Click on the parent view and then click to place the next view. And then do the same. Click on the parent view and then click to place the next view and then click tick. And then you've got your 3 views all ready to go. So you can drag them around and move them. So the one on the bottom left is the parent view and the other 2 are the supporting views. So we're just going to name them now using the text box. So it's just called main elevation, that first one. We want the height of our text to be 5 millimeters tall. You can just go close when you've done that. And then we're just going to move it to the middle of the view. So just sitting underneath in the middle. So that's what we want to do. And then what we want to do is name the next one. So new text box, change it to 5 mil tall. And then that one's called the side elevation. Whoops, side elevation, there we go. And you can just line that up in the middle as well. And then new text box, and we're going to name the top view. So this one's called plan. So it's like we're looking bird's eye view right from the top. So we're just going to name that plan, pop it in the middle. That's all we've got. The next thing we're going to do is go create sketch. So sketching's just sort of the same. We can't move the views in here. You can't click on them. All it does is allow us to just sort of draw on the bit of paper using lines. So the first thing we're going to do is just draw 2 lines, one going across, making sure it's nice and flat. And then we're going to do another line just going down, straight up and down, making sure that's vertical. Cool, so once we've placed those, we want to change them to a certain type of line. So we want a long dash and 2 short dashes. So that's called phantom 2. And that just shows that there's a difference between the planes. So you've got 2 vertical planes, you've got 2 upright drink bottles, We've got one horizontal plane, which is the looking down on top. So when we have that, when we have a combination of vertical and horizontal planes, we have to label them. So I'm just going to use the text and do an H for horizontal, two of them sitting on the top of the line. So I'm just going to have there we go, there we pop the H in, and then we move it down so it's just sitting on top of the line, and then we want another H over there. It's just going to sit on top of the line. We're going to leave these as 3.5mm tall. Oh no, we're actually going to put them as 2.5mm, so I have to go back and do that, but I'll just pop the other ones in. So we want a V and we want a V1. We want a V on the left and we want to make it just sit in there nicely. And then I'm going to make another text box and put V1. So that's just vertical plane and then vertical plane 1. So we only have to do this sketch when we have two main elevations and a plan, or if we have one main elevation and a plan, but there needs to be a combination of side and top views. If you just have two side views, you don't need to do this H and V sketchy thing. Yeah. So I'm just going to change them all to 2.5 high, because the text height for the small bits we're going to put as 2.5 and for the big bits as 5. So 2.5 is half of 5. So they're sort of in multiples of each other, text heights. So once I've done all that, all I can do is I can just check it all looks good, and then I can go finish sketch. And it looks nice like this. What we're going to do now is we're just going to save our drink bottle drawings. So you can just save it in your same folder as where your actual drink bottle is. So I'm just going to call mine drink bottle, technical drawings, and save it into 11 DVC. Cool. So just keep saving because remember it doesn't auto save. So the next thing we're going to have a look at is just placing some dimensions. So this is pretty easy. You don't have to dimension everything. Yeah, we just want some main dimensions so that we sort of know what's going on. So what you do is click the dimension tool and then click the two places you want to dimension between, and then click again to place the dimension. So I click the two places I want to dimension between and click again to place the dimension. Nice. So we just do that a few times. Click two places you want a dimension between and then place the dimension. We also want dimensions to line up. If you're doing them in a chain like that, one after each other, can you see I've lined them up nicely? So that's something that's quite important to do. Another thing you can do is, we're just going to dimension this one. We want all the numbers and arrows to sit outside the drink bottle. So we don't want any numbers on top of the actual drink bottle. So you can see I'm placing them out to the side or the bottom. So I've placed that one to the bottom, and what it actually is it is a diameter because my drink bottle is circular. So when you know it's a diameter, you can go double click on it, edit it, and you can pop a little diameter symbol in, which is quite good. So we're also going to dimension the other views. So remember to put so I've clicked the two lines I want to dimension between, and then I just click again to place it. And what I want with this one is I want to double click on it. And what I can do is actually I can change the number of decimal places there are. I'll do the same over here. Click the two. Oh, no, I'm going to do a radius actually. So a radius is just showing the curve. So if you've filleted an edge, you can just use a radius. Sometimes it automatically comes up as a diameter. So what we can actually do is we can delete that one. We can go into dimensions and we can select the radius tool. And then it allows us to click on radius, which which is quite handy. And then it automatically pops the R in for us, which says radius, and so radius of 3 and a radius of 5. So for that top one there, it's a lid, it's circular, and so I'm just going to add a diameter symbol in. Here we go, looking good. So I'm going to go over here, and it's best practice to actually dimension diameters on front views rather than top views. It's just sort of a good tip. So you can see I did both my diameters on the other views, and I'm not putting any diameters on this circular view. It's just sort of like a little guideline. So I've popped another radius there. I might put a measurement out there maybe. Maybe I'll put it out there, but I don't want those lines overlapping, so I can just move them around a bit. Yeah, and then I can pop some more dimensions in if I want. So I can look at how wide it is at that point, have that sitting in there. I might want to move it closer so it's not overlapping my R. Yeah, so we want everything to be really clear. These technical drawings should be really clear about what's going on. What we can do is something that might be something good to do, depending on your drink bottle, is if you double click on the view, it gives you this option to choose hidden lines or just visible lines. So if you've got a drink bottle that's quite simple, you can do hidden lines would be really good. For me, you saw mine turned into an absolute mess, so I'm not going to use hidden lines on mine. Instead, later on, I'm going to use a section view. If you want, you can actually decide to have the hidden lines on some drawings and not others. But you just go in and you can see the style up there. I've got from parent or not from parent, because remember the bottom left one on our page, the drawing, is our parent view. So you can see that all coming together quite nicely. So yeah, up to you whether you decide your thing's good for parent views, for hidden views or not. So the next thing we're going to do is edit our title block. So all we have to do is just double click on it and the options come up, and then we can click in and out of each category. So I've named it Drink Bottle Orthographic because this first page is our orthographic view. I've put my name in, and then I've just added scale. So I've put scale in front of the 1 to 2, and I've written the date, and you can just click out of them and then go finish properties. Last thing we're going to do is we're just going to pop a nice little 3D view up in the corner. So we can just go place base view, and we're just going to press home as our orientation. We're going to have it colored and rendered. We can just pop it in the top right corner. It looks nice.